We've got to have money.
Okay, enough of the nonsense. Let's get into the charts. At the moment, we can still see on the 4-hourly time frame that we are tracking this scenario here. This is the most bullish scenario and means a low is indeed in. In this bullish scenario, we still have an WXY with the low here at 53,369. If we zoom into the hourly time frame, we can see impulsive moves up occurring. This means the low could possibly be in after we have that last 5-wave move to the upside. So in the blue 5 waves, in the third wave we have another 5-wave structure, one being a leading diagonal. Now if you were to look at what can happen in a move to the upside, we can see this. We can either have an impulse, which where 1 and 4 lows don't touch, don't overlap in price, and that wave 3 is the longest price. Then you have a double 1-2, where it's the same as an impulse, except in the third wave we have another 5-wave move. We count this as a 1-2, 1-2, 3-4, 5-4-5. Or we have a contracting and expanding diagonal, where the high of 1 and the low of 4 overlap in price action, and we see this structure or this structure play out. So on the hourly time frame, we can see this happening right now. This was a leading diagonal in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, completing that third wave move up. Now we are still in this fourth wave down. If we go into the 15-minute time frame, we can see this. We are now in this fourth wave down, and we have seen quite a move down over the past while, about a 5% in 2 days. So we can see we have a move down in a corrective structure, lots of overlapping, lots of nonsense happening, and now we should be seeing a B wave play out, followed by a C wave down. As you can see, the C wave here, a C wave to the downside. Now there are 3 things that could happen here. If I go to the education side, there is either, oh sorry, I'm on the 1 hour, there we go. There are 3 things that could play out. Either an expanded flat, which looks something like this, where B takes the low of A and then expands in C higher than the high of A, or a running flat is where C does not take that high of A, or a regular flat where it is just a general A, B, C structure where C takes the high of A and B does not take the low of A. So if we look here now on the 15-minute time frame, we can see that happening. We have this 3-wave move down, and there are 3 scenarios. So either an A, B taking this high and then coming down in a C, or we have a regular flat or a running flat. But very rare, never preferred this running flat, highly unlikely. If we zoom in even more, we can see that the 886 has been touched. Now that means if I take a fib scale from top to bottom, we can see the 886 has indeed been hit. Once an 886 is hit from a bottom move, the likelihood to take this low again is extremely high. That means a B wave up plays out nicely as we then further take the low. That fourth wave will target this target box at 64,852 to 16,988, and we'll get into some possible trade scenarios for that later. Then on the more bearish side of things, on the 4-hourly time frame, we have still this ABC structure to the upside in a B wave. This is a very rare structure, as a B wave is a running flat talked about previously, and C wave is a great extension, which often does not happen. So the likelihood of this scenario to play out and then come lower where the low is not in is low, but we need to keep all options open. This sits in a target box of 54,973 to 44,483, but anywhere below that would be much more bearish. On a fair value gaps side of things, on the 4-hourly time frame, I still believe that these fair value gaps are going to be taken at some point, and we are actually filling up a few here on the hourly time frame right here. So let's see how this acts as support. Then on an Elliott Wave side, on an Elliott Wave channel side, we can see we are still hovering around that top side of the channel, bouncing around there, and should at some point come down to this middle line, whether it be in 1 day, whether it be in 3 months. That's all up to the market. But we're now hovering around this line, and if we see a solid breakthrough above this channel, the likelihood to go much higher, like we did here, is high. We can see here and breaking out again there. So let's see what price gives us. Now for trading possibilities from this region, at the moment we can see on the 4-hourly time frame we still have this 5-wave move to the upside, would be followed by a 3-wave move to the downside into our target box that will come on the chart here. This will be a good setup for the 4-hour time frame, as I would not trade the smaller things on the 4-hour, but it would look something along these lines, and we would see a nice long from this target box here. Then on the 1-hour time frame, we can see that price has not yet moved into this blue wave 4 box, but we expect it at some point this week to move into this box, and a nice long could be taken from these levels, longing here and then increasing your long as price goes down, setting a stop loss at the 0.618, which sits at a 59,335. That would be the hourly time frame trade. On the 15-minute time frame, again for today, as it's corrective price action, I have no trade. I would not trade this B wave, as B waves are incredibly unpredictable. Remember, they can either expand above, or they could go below, or they might be very, very shallow. This might even be finished and we could head lower. But that's all for Max Trades Crypto today. Do subscribe to the YouTube channel and join the Discord for intraday updates. It's been Max Trades Crypto. Cheers, guys.